getting fed up with traditional cable is that they see their bill going up and up and up, and they're saying, I don't really care about all this content, and I'm being forced to pay for it. So our approach has been, how can we create a group of content, this entertainment, lifestyle, knowledge content, where we can give you a lot of depth in that area at a low cost. And for the people who want all the content we carry on our platform, it's a great deal. 16 or 20 bucks a month is a lot less than you're going to pay for TV almost anywhere else. And but it's not just for those people as well. There are people who want sports, and you can mix and match Philo with other things. You can either get just the sport you care about from a dedicated OTT service, from a sports league or something like that. You can combine it with a package that has more of a broadcast and news focus if you want a full lineup, but you want all the benefits that a virtual streaming TV service bring. Or you can combine it with things like Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime Instant Video, other things that give you a really deep on-demand library that gives you more entertainment content to supplement the live service. Or you can put up a digital antenna if you want to get the broadcast networks and the sports that air on those networks, but pay a really low cost. So it ends up being this building block that you can put together with other things to kind of craft your own TV experience, your own TV package. And so that's why we think it's really valuable, because it was an option that literally did not exist before Philo. You could not get these networks without paying $80 a month or whatever it was.
That's actually a great point. Most of the TV services, you have to pay extra for DVR, and Philo actually includes that in their package. You have unlimited DVR, I believe.
Yeah, our approach has been to not try to hide things behind add-ons and additional fees, where we say, okay, we say the price is $16 a month, but you have to pay $10 if you want a bigger DVR, and you have to pay $5 if you want to use it on multiple devices, and you have to pay, extra if you want. We try to just make it, everything's included. Again, it's about making it simple and not like jerking people around and making them feel like, you're trying to sort of trick them or trap them into things. We really feel like in the long term, that's not going to be a good, people are going to react badly to that.
What are some of the most popular shows that are, I'm sure Friends is probably one, since they're incredibly expensive to
yeah, I think all of the library content does actually amazingly well. Like these old, shows that you might, I might have thought would maybe not have had a strong audience. Shows like Martin, that is, from my childhood. I remember watching it, and it's still one of the most popular shows on Philo. Lots of kids content does really well. SpongeBob does incredibly well on Philo. It really depends. There's different shows for everybody. Obviously, The Walking Dead is very popular. Shows like Live TV or Live PD do really well on Philo. It's a really interesting mix of stuff, and it changes month to month. But it sort of depends on what your tastes are.
So I wanted to open it up for a bit of questions from the audience. If anyone has something that they'd like to ask of me or Andrew.
Thank you so much for the information. Shatar from Documentary and Reality TV channel. Thank you so much. This is a wonderful panel. For people who are referring their friends to shows on Philo, what sort of rewards or gamification do you have, or is your team thinking of, that will make the customers happy?
Yeah, so we do have a referral program. The way it works is if you refer someone to Philo and they sign up, then they get $5 off their first bill, and you get $5 off. And so, if you kept referring friends, you could theoretically just watch the service for free. We haven't actually combined that with the share show feature, but something we've thought a lot about. Like, hey, can we actually do both things at the same time? If you share a show with someone and they end up signing up for the service, we'll treat it like a referral. We haven't done that yet, but it's something we probably will get around to, because it makes a lot of sense we kind of think that you can do both things, just make it a little easier for people to do it both at the same time.
You don't hear my voice enough. Alyssa has lost her voice.
We're recording, so you have to get a mic.
Oh, here it is.
Okay.
Alyssa lost her voice, so she had a question. Any plans for live sports?
Yeah, I think that we don't have any like grudge against live sports. It is great content. It's extremely compelling. It drives a lot of engagement. We think that there's definitely a future that could involve live sports on Philo. The issue is just giving people the choice about it. We don't think that forcing everyone to pay the cost of live sports makes sense. If there was a way for us to offer a sports option on Philo that gave you a really deep library of sports content, and you could basically choose, hey, I want the entertainment content, I want the sports content, or I want both together, that to us is kind of the ideal way to do it, because there are people who only want one or the other, and there are people who want both, and why not give people the choice about it? I think that sports fans love sports. They're willing to pay the high cost to watch it. They get a lot of value from it. But for the people who don't watch that content, they shouldn't have to be shouldering the cost for things that they don't care about. But I think that that's happening. You already see in the streaming TV world that there are packages that focus on broadcast and sports, and there are packages like ours, really, that focus on the opposite. And so you basically already have that choice as a consumer, is to say, I want sports, I want no sports, or I want both. So to us, I think that the ability to do that within one service is coming. It's just there's a lot of history in the industry that makes it hard to do right away.
I work for a messaging API company, and we do second screen chat for a lot of sports shows primarily. We just signed a partnership with the NBA, and we work with a lot of gaming companies. I was just wondering, to the point that you were making earlier about the social aspect of watching TV, if there are opportunities for regular shows to have like group chats within them, so that you and a bunch of fans of The Walking Dead could actually be in a chat room and be discussing the show.
Yeah, we're definitely interested in doing that. We have a couple of questions internally about how exactly we want to do it. So the two big issues that we are trying to figure out, and I think that we really won't know the answers until we start testing some of this stuff out and seeing how people respond to it. But I think one question is, how much do you force people to use a platform that's inside the app versus letting them use the ways they're already talking about TV? So lots of people will text their friends while they're watching shows, or they'll talk on Snapchat or Facebook Messenger, or they'll post on Twitter. And how much do we want to allow people to just have that conversation where they're already having it and bring that into Philo, versus saying we're going to build our own dedicated sort of chat area inside of Philo? And I think the other big question we're trying to understand is, do we want it to primarily be a chat messaging experience that's happening in real time, or do we want to sort of let you leave commentary on the video in a way that when others watch it, say I recorded the show and I watch it the next day, I can actually sort of replay that conversation and see what my friends were saying as they were watching the show. And there's a lot of really cool things that come out of that functionality. So figuring out how to kind of find the right balance between whether it's a live conversation or whether it's like creating a commentary on the content, sort of like SoundCloud has, where you can comment on songs. I think that we're trying to figure out what the right space is that makes the most sense for the service we have. So I think we're prototyping a bunch of stuff in that general area, and we're just trying to figure out how to put the right set of things together.